Old money and unassuming luxury. Today we're talking about Old Cutler Bay, which is one of my favorite communities here in Miami, and it's right behind us. We're going to make our way in. We're going to talk about the history. We're going to talk about the market report. Maybe we see a few of our clients and friends of properties that we've sold along the way. I'm George Maduro, and remember, we do this content, but we work these communities day in and day out. So if you're thinking about moving to Miami, make sure to reach out to us so we can find you your best option. And ultimately, we bring this information for you to understand what it's like to be here before you even arrive. All right, let's hit it and get inside. So we made our way into Old Cutler Bay. We're headed down to the south of Solano Prado here. You can see, just like any other community, the difference in values that we're going to see throughout the community are mostly based on the positioning. Here on the south side of Solano Prado, you can see it's a narrow canal, and we have these mangroves across the way. So while it does offer privacy, it is one of the main channels into the community, and it is limited with views. There's other areas like off of Reynante where you have the wide open lagoon there with Gables Estates across the way, or here that we're going to be entering into now off Marquesa, which it's a little bit wider location as well with regards to the waterway, so you feel like you're almost on a lagoon or lake type setting, and ultimately just a wide open, better view than these narrow canals. One of the better locations is right here south of Marquesa, in between Solano Prado. You're going to see that it's a wide open area, more of a lagoon type lake setting, so you don't feel so cramped in on the canal and limited with mangroves across the way. There's beautiful homes that can be the view as opposed to those on the wide open bay. This house is awesome here. Historically, we've seen on these 20,000 square foot lots, you have more ranch style, smaller homes, and now they're starting to build these mansions. This one was put up a couple years ago, but you could see how it sits right off this point here with the lagoon type setting behind it. But this is an example of the really cool design and architecture that's going up here in Old Cutler Bay. One of the great things about Old Cutler Bay is there's no bridges to bay. So it's one of the communities. It's got about 135 homes here. It sits on about 145 acres. They started development in the 1960s, so you see a broad range of styles here, and that's what I like about it. It's not just a cookie cutter development. There's a lot of character to the different homes. You'll see the old ranch styles, you'll see newer tropical modern, ultra modern, and you'll see the Mediterraneans that were popular in the early 2000s and 90s. As we drive through, we still see opportunities to tear down and build new, but those opportunities are really becoming scarce. We actually have one that's a great deal here in Old Cutler Bay at about $14.5 million. It's a little more than what has sold, but as fast as we see these prices increasing, it makes me real confident about that price. I remember when we used to sell homes in Gables Estates, the lots were $6 million, now they're $15 million. Here they used to be $4 or $5 million, now we're seeing $10 million plus. Those opportunities to build new and add the value are really scarce, and now we're seeing homes selling for over $35 million. So as we come here on the north side of Marquesa, we're going to be able to see a house that's asking $12.75 here. It's on about a 20,000 plus square foot lot. It's 5,700 square feet, asking $12.7 million. So you can see there's still the opportunities that are not there to tear down. They're not going to be new construction. They're just nicely updated, and those are still in excess of $2,500 per foot. This was a recent land sale at $9.9 million for a 20,000 square foot lot. You can see the house appears to be in good condition, but ultimately you're looking to maximize these lot sizes and build these new mansions. So there's going to be a really cool build going up by a friend of mine there. And this is the same street that we have a property at $14.5 million with a similar lot, maybe better positioned in the center of the lagoon. But yesterday's price is no longer today's price. As soon as one goes, the market jumps up immediately. So comps don't mean this is what the value is. It means there's even more scarcity, and now the prices go up. Now we're moving into another desirable location here within Old Cutler Bay. We have Balada to my west and Gallardo to my east. We saw another significant sale here on Gallardo recently, and there's one on Balada asking $75 million. That one's been on the market a significant amount of time, and as we make our way in, you can see it's just a wider feel. So it's more desirable to be on these wider waterways than on the more narrow with the mangroves obstructing views. This is a recent closed sale that was new construction at 9330 Gallardo. This one sold for $31 million. It's got the modern farmhouse style and a ton of frontage, western exposure. So you're going to get nice sunsets here. And again, you're on this wide lagoon area, which is is one of the better spots here in Old Cutler Bay. Right next to it, we got 9320 Gallardo that recently sold for $16 million. To me, this was an exceptional purchase. The house needs minimal renovation. It's relatively new. It just needed some love and care. And that price per square foot is probably already significantly increased since the close. This was one of our sales off Balata post-COVID. It wasn't really the time where things really started to jump off. You don't even want to think about how values increase so much when you have deals like this, because at the end of the day, hindsight's always 2020, and you can never really tell when market booms are going to happen like it did. So unfortunately, that one didn't sell for the high ticket numbers that we're seeing today, but it was still a great sale at the time, and nobody could anticipate what was coming. Now we're on the west side of Balata. This is probably the least valuable location here within Old Cutler Bay. It looks great to me, but it's evidenced by the fact that there's been a land sale sitting on the market at about $10 million for a significant amount of time. It went under contract recently but fell out. But to my west here, we have Journey's End, where Jeff Bezos had a large purchase a couple years back. So coming back here, and if you were to come see it for yourself, it's really not that narrow. It's nice, and especially this little part here as the basin opens up. Like I said, there's one that's sitting on the market at a little bit over $10 million that hasn't sold in a significant amount of time, and value is ultimately what somebody's willing to pay. Old Cutler Bay, with regards to value, sits right between Gables Estates and Cocoplum. It's not as valuable as Gables Estates because Gables Estates is all acre parcels, and Old Cutler Bay is primarily half-acre parcels, and Cocoplum is smaller than that, and Cocoplum, a large portion, is inhibited by bridge access. But Old Cutler Bay has no bridges. It's a well-manicured community, and the difference between Old Cutler Bay and Gables Estates is there's not an application association approval process. So if you have skeletons in your closet, Old Cutler Bay might be for you. The community gets its name from historic Old Cutler Road that it sits right off of. It's right in between Westminster to our south. You got Gulliver Elementary to our south as well, Palmetto High School here in Pinecrest nearby, and Gulliver to the north. A little further south than that, we have Palmer Trinity and Ransom to the north. So you're amongst the top schools in the location, so it's a very convenient location. As far as entertainment, you're about a 10-minute ride north to Coral Gables. You have South Miami here. We got Noma Beach, a restaurant that we featured right here in Mathis and Hammock Park, right to our south. So it's a really convenient location if you're looking to be in this area and be on the water. This is a 73,000 square foot lot right off of the bay with open bay views that just sold at $35 million. You see, you got Gables Estates right across the way. So $35 million is a crazy ticket price for land, but you can see how expansive the lot is and a ton of frontage. So ultimately, you're going to have a house there that's worth north of $85 million. So while the prices seem crazy, the value still makes sense because of what people are buying the finished product for here in Gables Estates and Old Cutler Bay. The pricing right now is in excess of $3,000 a foot for homes here in Old Cutler Bay. We're seeing land exceeding $600 per foot. The reason being is just the lack of supply here within the community, as well as Gables Estates and Cocoplum. They only make so much waterfront, so there's not many opportunities to buy right now, and that's why we're seeing these skyrocketing prices. Here's a sale right here off of Raynante. This is the most desirable location of the community other than direct bay access because we're on this lagoon setting here right across from Gables Estates. But I want to say that one sold at $47 million, and then right next to it we have a piece of land that sold at $15.6 million. The reason why it's so much more valuable than Marquesa and Solano Prado is simply because of this lagoon setting out overlooking Gables Estates. This home at the tip of Raynante here sold at $40 million. You can see it's got a really cool colonial vibe to it, and the way it's positioned at the tip of the peninsula overlooking this basin here. As far as what's selling now, that's a great deal at $40 million to see other properties like the one that sold at 47 further down the canalway there. So this is a great deal here, and it really sits beautifully here in the community. It doesn't get any better than this location here in Miami. In Old Cutler Bay, we have the Solano Prado properties facing Arvida with Gables Estates. This is some of the most valuable real estate in the area, and you can see why as it sits on this expansive lagoon setting, offering the protection from the elements that the open bay properties don't get. What I love about these communities down here is they still have such a great neighborhood vibe to them. You see people riding their golf carts, their electric vehicles. You got the market on Old Cutler Bay that you see people go to get their milkshakes and their fresh fruit. So although it's very valuable and really high pricing, it still feels unassuming, where you still get that neighborhood vibe, where everybody knows their neighbors, and it's an overall friendly community. We hope you enjoyed this tour of Old Cutler Bay. If you're thinking about Old Cutler Bay or any other community here in Miami, make sure to reach out to us. Follow us at ccoluxe.com. Like and subscribe to this channel so that you can get notified when we upload these videos that we're doing weekly to give you the most up-to-date, in-depth information of these communities. I'm George Maduro with CCO Lux. That's Lux. Do not forget the E, and look us up on all platforms, and we look forward to working with you. See you in the next one.